Taylor Swift faints during unforgettable Christmas dinner after engagement surprise. The air was thick with the scent of pine, cinnamon, and roasting turkey at Taylor Swift's Nashville mansion. The Christmas dinner was a star-studded affair, attended by close friends, family, and a few select celebrities. Taylor's boyfriend, Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce, had been acting strangely all evening, but she chalked it up to holiday stress. The long table in the dining room was adorned with glittering gold ornaments and candles, their flickering flames reflecting off the crystal glasses. Taylor was radiant in a crimson dress that matched her signature red lipstick. The room buzzed with laughter and cheer, the perfect backdrop for a night to remember. As dessert was served, an elaborate gingerbread cake Taylor had been excited to try, Travis stood up and tapped his glass with a spoon. The room fell silent. "Excuse me, everyone," he began, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "I have something important to say." Taylor's eyes widened as she glanced at him, her hand instinctively going to her chest. "I've had the most incredible year, not because of the football field, but because of this amazing woman sitting right here." He turned to Taylor, who was now visibly blushing. "Taylor, you've taught me what it means to love, to dream, and to share a life with someone who inspires the world. And now, I want to spend the rest of my life inspiring you." The room erupted in gasps as Travis pulled a small velvet box from his pocket and got down on one knee. "Taylor Allison Swift, will you marry me?" Taylor's hand flew to her mouth, tears streaming down her face. Before she could utter a word, the room began to spin. The last thing she saw was the diamond sparkling like a star before everything went black. Gasps and chaos followed as Taylor slumped forward in her chair. Travis caught her just before she hit the floor. "Call 911. Someone shouted, but Taylor's mother, Andrea, rushed forward. "She just fainted," Andrea assured everyone. "She's been under a lot of stress, she'll be fine." Travis cradled Taylor in his arms, whispering softly, "Babe, wake up. You're scaring me." Moments later, Taylor's eyes fluttered open, her cheeks flushed. What happened?" she murmured. "You fainted, love," Travis said, his voice thick with relief. "But I need to know, what's your answer?" Taylor sat up slowly, glancing around at the concerned faces. Her lips curled into a smile as she looked back at Travis. "Yes," she said, her voice steady. "1,000 times, yes." The room erupted into cheers and applause. Travis slipped the ring onto her finger, and Taylor, always the performer, quipped, "Well, I guess I just wrote the opening scene for my next album." The night ended with laughter, joy, and a toast to the newly engaged couple. Despite the dramatic moment, it was a Christmas dinner no one would ever forget. Title: A Christmas to Remember. Taylor Swift's engagement surprise, **. It was Christmas Eve, and the grand dining room of a luxurious mountain chalet was decked out with twinkling fairy lights and golden ornaments. The table, large enough to host a small army, was set for a celebration unlike any other. Taylor Swift sat at the center of the table, surrounded by close friends, family, and, of course, her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. The fire crackled in the hearth, casting a warm glow that filled the room with a sense of magic. This year had been unforgettable for Taylor. Her relationship with Travis had blossomed in ways neither of them could have predicted. They had spent months traveling the world together, enjoying quiet moments away from the public eye and building something deep and genuine. Tonight, the atmosphere was extra special. Taylor had no idea that a big surprise awaited her, one that would make this Christmas unforgettable. As the night went on, laughter filled the air, and everyone enjoyed a meal prepared with love. Taylor's heart swelled as she looked around the table. She was surrounded by those she cared about most, and the thought of how far she had come in her life filled her with gratitude. Then, as dessert was served, an intricately decorated gingerbread house with twinkling lights, Travis stood up, a glint of mischief in his eyes. Everyone's attention shifted toward him as he raised a glass to toast. "To love, to laughter, and to everything that makes life worth living," Travis said, his voice steady but with a hint of emotion. Taylor smiled, puzzled by the tone. Travis had always been charming, but tonight there was something different in the air. A certain tension. Before she could ask him what he was up to, Travis dropped to one knee. The room fell into stunned silence. Taylor's heart raced as she looked around, realizing what was happening but unable to fully comprehend it. "Taylor, we've shared some unforgettable moments together, but I want to make sure every moment going forward is just as special. Will you marry me?" Travis asked, his voice filled with sincerity and love. The room erupted into applause, but Taylor's eyes went wide, her breath catching in her throat. Her mind raced, processing the overwhelming emotions of the moment. She had never imagined this, not like this, not here. The shock was so intense that she felt the world spin around her. The weight of the engagement ring glinting in the candlelight was almost too much to bear. And then, everything went black. She fainted. The room went into a frenzy, with people rushing to her side. Travis, panic-stricken, gently lifted her from her chair and held her close. The others frantically checked for her response, but within moments, Taylor's eyelids fluttered open, and she blinked, dazed, trying to make sense of what had happened. "Taylor, are you okay?" Travis whispered, his voice filled with concern. It took her a moment to register the situation. The proposal, the ring, Travis on one knee, it was all real. She laughed softly, the sound shaky at first, before she realized she had just fainted at the most important moment of her life. I'm fine," Taylor managed, her voice barely above a whisper. I wasn't ready for that." Travis smiled, brushing her hair back from her face. "I wanted to make it unforgettable, babe." "Well," she said with a laugh, still trying to steady her breathing, "you definitely succeeded." The room exploded with laughter and relief. The atmosphere was electric, with everyone clapping and congratulating the couple. Taylor sat up, her cheeks flushed with a mix of embarrassment and joy. As Travis helped her back to her feet, he slipped the sparkling engagement ring onto her finger. "Let's make this the first of many unforgettable moments." And that was how Taylor Swift fainted during the most magical Christmas dinner of her life. She would always remember this Christmas not just for the surprise engagement but for the reminder that love could be unexpected, overwhelming, and utterly perfect. Title: The Unforgettable Christmas Dinner. Taylor Swift's engagement surprise, ***. It was Christmas Eve, and Taylor Swift had planned the perfect evening for her closest friends and family. The grand dining room was aglow with twinkling lights, a roaring fire in the hearth casting a warm, golden glow over the long table adorned with candles and festive decorations. Everyone had gathered to celebrate the holidays, but little did they know that tonight would be unlike any other Christmas dinner they'd ever had. Travis Kelce had been plotting the surprise for weeks. He'd carefully chosen the perfect moment, a night when Taylor felt surrounded by love and warmth. His plan? To propose to her in front of their loved ones, creating a memory that would last a lifetime. As the evening progressed, the laughter and chatter flowed freely. Taylor, dressed in a simple but elegant red dress that sparkled in the firelight, was in her element. She'd been in a festive mood all week, humming Christmas carols and sharing stories of past holiday memories. She couldn't remember the last time she'd felt so at peace. But as the dinner plates were cleared, Travis stood up, his heart racing in his chest. Everyone turned to look at him, curious. He motioned for Taylor to stand as well, his face breaking into a grin. "Hey, babe," Travis began, his voice a little shaky with excitement. "I know this year has been full of surprises for both of us, and we've had our fair share of challenges, but one thing has been constant. How much I love you." Taylor smiled, her eyes sparkling as she looked at him, not yet aware of what was coming. "Taylor," Travis continued, his voice steady now, "I want to make sure that from here on out, every Christmas, every holiday, every moment in our lives is spent together." He knelt down on one knee, pulling out a small velvet box. "Will you marry me?" A collective gasp filled the room. Taylor's hands flew to her mouth as she stared at the ring, a beautiful diamond, shimmering with the promise of a future together. For a moment, everything seemed to freeze. The room was silent, waiting for her response. Taylor's heart pounded in her chest as her eyes filled with tears of joy. She was overwhelmed, her emotions running wild. This was the moment she dreamed of, but it was happening so fast. "Yes," she finally exclaimed, her voice barely above a whisper, before bursting into laughter, her eyes brimming with tears. "Yes, of course I will." The room erupted into applause and cheers. Travis stood up, slipping the ring onto her finger, and pulled her into a warm embrace. Everyone gathered around them, congratulating the couple, as Taylor laughed and cried, overcome by the love in the room. But as the excitement settled, something unexpected happened. Taylor's vision blurred, and her head spun. Her body swayed, her legs felt weak, and before she could brace herself, she collapsed, falling into Travis's arms. "Taylor?" Travis cried out, panic creeping into his voice as he caught her just in time. "Babe, are you okay?" The room fell silent once more, the shock of the moment sinking in. Taylor had fainted, her body limp against Travis as he tried to shake her awake. Her family and friends rushed to her side, but Travis remained calm, holding her close. After a few tense moments, Taylor's eyes fluttered open. She blinked rapidly, disoriented, before looking up into Travis's concerned eyes. "I'm so sorry," she whispered, her voice weak but filled with a smile. "I think I just got a little overwhelmed." The room let out a collective sigh of relief, laughter following soon after. It seemed the surprise was just a bit too much for Taylor to handle all at once. Travis helped her sit up, brushing a lock of hair from her face. "You're all right, sweetheart. You just made my heart race. I guess I wasn't the only one with a surprise tonight." Taylor laughed, a little embarrassed, but the love she felt was undeniable. "I think I need a minute to process everything. But yes, I will marry you. Just let me catch my breath." Everyone gathered around the couple, offering hugs and congratulations, making sure Taylor was okay. And though the night had taken an unexpected turn, it would be a Christmas neither of them would ever forget. As the evening drew to a close, Taylor and Travis sat together, the glow of the Christmas lights reflecting in their eyes. The engagement had been perfect, even if it had been a little overwhelming. In the end, it wasn't just the proposal that mattered. It was the love they shared, a love that would only grow stronger in the years to come.